Oh, I see. I guess I should have expected this. Nobody saw the other guy, huh? Isn't that weird? I guess the old man and Armstrong... No one saw the other guy. But he was there when I took the coffee over, sir. Scout's honor. Maggie. Maggie? Oh, Maggie. Or rather, Gumshoe. No, Detective Gumshoe. Are you doing alright? How are you feeling? As if you need to ask either question, sir. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this, but like... Why is she still in her maid uniform? Like, after a month. I feel like she shouldn't still be in her maid uniform. If she was, like, I don't know, sent to solitary confinement or something, or a prison in general, I think she would already be changed, right? Into, like, a prison uniform? I don't know. I don't know how this works. Anyway, don't let them get you down, Maggie. And don't forget to eat well, okay? Even though all you get is prison food, I guess. Roger. And you? Yes? You better square this case away, got it, pal? Maggie's innocent, you hear? If you screw up, then I'll be doing some squaring away myself. Squaring away some paperwork for your arrest. Arrest me? Why? I think he's serious. Hey, detective, you're on our side for once, right? Yep. So you'd be able to help Maggie out, right? Really? Can you, sir? Of course. I've got the situation under control. I'm gonna be the first witness on the stand today, pal. If something does say it doesn't match with the facts, make sure you put it out, alright? Sure. Okay, we're forming a united front today, pal. You got me? Collusion. I can't tell you how grateful I am, sir. I've always admired you so much, detective. I know I can count on you. It looks like you should be all pretty. Should go pretty. It looks like it should go. It should all go, rather. It should all go pretty smooth today, huh? I can only wish. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Ah, bitter. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? What's wrong? Nothing, it's just, whenever I addressed you in the previous trial, your response was, "You still talking to me?" Yeah, man, I'm walking here. That's the accent I assume, I mean, the fake Phoenix, I guess? Is like how he sounds like, I'm walking here. You talking to me? It was a little, well, intimidating. No, that wasn't me. That was the phony Phoenix. I see. So our trusty Phoenix Wright is back with us now, is he? Our trusty? So, Mr. Godot, your opening statement, please. Mr. Trite, whether you are fake or the real deal, we will find out soon enough through this trial today. But I can already tell you, I'm the real Phoenix Wright. I wasn't questioning whether you are Phoenix Wright or not. I was questioning whether you had studied law or not. That's what I intend to find out. There's no denying it. Behind that mask is a man who really hates me for some reason or another. Yeah, I'm not the fake Phoenix Wright. That's what a fake would say. Objection. As everyone is aware, the court has already given its verdict on this case once. Therefore, I won't stand for irrelevant testimony during this retrial. Nor will I stand for a simple repetition of the evidence presented in the last trial. Well, I'm not planning on repeating anything that phony me said, trust me. Now then, Mr. Godot, please summon your first witness. Let's start with the formalities, shall we? Name and occupation. Witness, state your name to the court. Huh? Oh, sorry, sir. The name is the police department detective. Occupation, Dick Gumshoe. I think you mixed it up. The way around, detective. Huh? Oh, sorry. Anyway, I'm the officer in charge of this case since yesterday, sir. Since yesterday? Yeah, the guy who was on the initial investigation is tied with another case now. I hope Gumshoe's really got everything under control, for everyone's sake. I see. So, Detective Gumshoe, would you outline for the court the basic facts of the case? Yes, sir. The victim's name was Glenn Elg. Excuse me. He was a professional programmer. He was on the payroll of the Blue Screens Inc., a local company, Blue Screens Incorporated. This is the victim's autopsy report. The court accepts this into evidence. Okay, died of potassium cyanide. Time of death was between 1:30 and 2:30 p.m. Potassium cyanide. Reminds me of Metal Gear Solid 3, you know, the fake death pill. And here are the floor plans of the restaurant. When the incident took place, the victim was sitting right here. The poisoned coffee was brought over to him by the waitress. The waitress being the accused. Yeah. The victim died from poisoning almost immediately after he took a sip of the coffee. At the time of the incident, there were 2 other people in the restaurant. Mr. Gene Armstrong, the owner and chef, and a regular by the name of Mr. Victor Kudo. It still seems to be a very straightforward case to me. Come, detective, take up this hammer, and nail the defendant's coffin shut with your own 2 hands. Now then, Detective Gumshoe, let's have your testimony. Yes, sir. I wanna look at the floor plans again. That's the kitchen. So okay. So we actually didn't see the other tables right here, but yeah, there's 4 tables in total. This is the crime scene right here. We walked in here. There's cash register. I guess the kitchen's like that way. I didn't notice that. I thought the kitchen was like over here. You know, but I guess not. It's like past the tables around here. There's the rack. Okay. When the incident took place, the victim was all alone at his table, sir. We understand that the guy, Glenn Elg, was listening to the radio at the time. Traces of poison were found in his coffee cup, and what we found was potassium cyanide. That stuff really packs a punch. And it really looks like Miss Bird might have had some kind of motive. Using the dark aromatic depths of coffee to conceal the poison. A classy lady. You know, those make me thirsty. Let me drink some water as well. The facts of this case seem to be ironclad. Mr. Wright, I would ask you to begin your cross-examination, but... Yes? Please, no intimidation tricks this time around. Is that understood? I already told you, that wasn't me. You talking to me? You talking to me? When this incident took place, he was all alone, okay? Can I stop you for just a minute? What is it? Did I say something that contradicts the evidence? Please! He's so desperate for that to be true, he's practically crying. Your testimony just now doesn't match the testimony given by Miss Bird. She claims there was another man at the victim's table. Yeah, that's what she said. And I... What killer wouldn't say that when faced with a homicide conviction? Hey! Sadly, her testimony isn't supported by the owner or the other customer. Isn't that right, Detective Gumshoe? I'll look at the floor plans once again. I don't know. Yeah, it's true. There are 2 testimonies tied up on that. I don't know. They both said there was no other guy on the table. Where was the victim sitting at? Was he here or here? I don't know. Because they might have not been able to see the other person because they just weren't in view, or I don't know. We'll see, I guess. What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? Well, maybe the other witnesses just missed him. Perhaps the reveal of the victim's table was obscured in some way. That argument is as weak as the coffee at Tribune, Trite. I have here in my possession a ticket. A ticket? Looks more like a photo to me. Yes, a one-way ticket to the Guiltyville. Population, the defendant. This is a photograph taken from near the entrance of the kitchen. Near the entrance of the kitchen. Okay, so it will be taken over here. So the victim was sitting here, I guess. This is the judge. This is the scene as witnessed by the chef moments after the poisoning took place. Correct? I think the court will agree that with such a clear view of the scene of the crime. How, Mr. Trite, could anyone have overlooked the second person at the table? Ah. It certainly seems to show the victim's table extremely clearly. I don't know. I was thinking, can he? Because I was thinking, like, could he be sitting in this chair? I didn't see it, but I don't see. I mean, obviously, there's no one in this chair, so I don't know. They could have left, though. I don't know. Hiding on the table? No, probably not. He was listening to his radio, you say? Yeah, he had a portable radio in his chest pocket. Maggie told us that too, didn't she? Something about how one of them had some sort of earpiece. What should I do? Should I press? A little harder? Yes. And what was it that the victim was listening to on the radio, Detective Gumshoe? Huh? How should I know? Well, thanks a lot. We're now one step closer to the middle of nowhere. Well, this isn't going very well, is it? Detective, could you perhaps tell us about the poison and how it was used? Okay. So, traces of the poison were found in the coffee cup and nowhere else. Not sure I get you, pal. Was the poison a liquid, or was it a powder? If I had to put it in layman's terms, I'd say it was a powdery substance. So the poison could have been in anything that was on the table. Sugar, salt, pepper? Do you put salt and pepper in your coffee, Trite? The victim took his coffee black, with no sugar. Ah. It seems that the poison could only have been in the coffee. What should I do? Should I press? Yes. I mean, I'm gonna keep pressing. Are you absolutely certain the victim even drank any of his coffee? Huh? What do you mean? According to this file, the poison was found in the victim's coffee cup. But what proof is there that the victim ever drank any of it? Oh, hey, you're right. That's what I was... In case you are wondering, that last objection was for the detective there. Huh? For me? Oh, hey, you're right. You may be fooling the court, but I'm not falling for it. You have the time to waste, you have the time to present that piece of evidence. That piece, sir? Yes, that piece. What piece was it again? I mean, the victim, the victim being dead in the first place. Hey, why are you throwing your coffee at me again? Should I be grateful this coffee is only hot enough to give me first-degree burns? Now I remember. This is the victim's coffee cup. Yes, the victim's cup. Take a good look at the rim. Oh yes, it's unmistakable. There is clearly a coffee stain on it. Conclusive proof that the victim did drink the poisoned coffee that was in this cup. The victim gulped down the bitter death that the waitress brought down to him. Like this. Whoa! Just chug the coffee. For the record, the only prints on the cup were the victims and the defendants. Covered the victim and Maggie's fingerprints. I guess that's when she brought the coffee, I guess. Upon further investigation of this cup, we found a certain chemical substance. Potassium cyanide. Potassium cyanide. I've heard of that chemical before. Exactly how strong is this poison, Detective Gumshoe? It's, well, that stuff's lethal. Eat too much and your history. How much is too much? A lethal dose is 0.2 grams. That's about enough to finish anyone off. 0.2 grams? How much is that? You know when you swab your ears for earwax? Yeah, about that much. Okay. Earwax, huh? Sounds like something Gumshoe's got an abundance of. Such a small quantity of poison could have been concealed anywhere. Motive. Some kind of motive. Yeah, but if you ask me, it's been blown way out of proportion. You know what my golden rule is, detective? Chuck out the bad cup of coffee. You can always get another. Huh? I don't get it. I'm saying we can always get another witness in the stand if we have to chuck you out. So stick to the facts, detective. Now then, what was Miss Bird's motive? Come on, Gumshoe. They said she wanted to steal a lottery ticket. I knew it. That's what we heard yesterday too. It disappeared from the scene of the crime. And it wasn't just any lottery ticket. It was a winning ticket for $500,000. Mr. Armstrong knew about the ticket too, didn't he? Well, he stole the wrong one. Then is it possible Maggie stole the winning one? What should I do? Should I press? Press! Wait a minute. The mere fact that the lottery ticket disappeared in no way implicates my client. I have here in my hand the very ticket in question. That's the $500,000 win lottery ticket? One of the female police officers found it when she was conducting a search of the defendant. What? Well, that looks bad. Order. She's quite a lucky bird, or a little waitress. You will submit that ticket as evidence to the court, immediately. Alright, keep an eye on that ticket. The way the judge's voice is quivering. Just take it for ourselves. Do it now! Just leave. Take the ticket and leave. This ticket was presented to the court in the previous trial too. But it feels heavier now somehow. $500,000, you say? It's just a scrap of paper. What matters is where it was found, Your Honor. And that's on Maggie's person, unfortunately. That's enough. The facts of this case seem overwhelmingly clear to me. The defendant had ample opportunity to commit the crime with which she is charged. Furthermore, it seems beyond reasonable doubt that she did indeed commit this crime. Like an old man who knows the score. There's also the matter of the $500,000 lottery ticket. That alone provides a very credible motive. I mean, with that sum of money, even I might be tempted to bend the rules. I don't mind an old man who's weak to the siren call of money. Not good, Nick. The evidence against Maggie is starting to pile up fast. Yeah, that's because the court has ruled guilty once already. I'd say it's about time to wrap up this repeated performance with one final decisive piece of evidence. He's got more evidence against Maggie? This is the apron the delightful Miss Bird was wearing at the time. Wow, that's not the cleanest apron I've ever seen. That stain looks like... It can't be blood, can it? How is blood, like, involved in this? Like, he was poisoned, right? Not stabbed in the face. It seems the star of our play was a little flustered. And somehow spilled coffee on herself. The coffee? That's not exactly the first thing that caught my eye. Of course, the coffee stain isn't the most interesting thing about this apron. No, there's something else that stands out even more. Something else? I presume you mean... Of course, I'm referring to the pocket. The pocket. A search carried out right after the incident uncovered this. Potassium cyanide. The very poison used by the killer was in her apron pocket. What? What? A bottle of poison in Maggie's pocket? Yeah, and Maggie's prints were the only ones on it. What? Nani? Order. The court will accept these items into evidence. There's evidence, there's apron, small pocket, big stains, and deadly poison. Just found in the pocket, no big deal. Okay. There's something still bothering me, Mr. Godot. I think about. I guess it's just ketchup, maybe. I don't know. It would make sense if it's ketchup. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court? Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be? Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood color stain that's smeared all over the apron. Well, that's ridiculous. No one told me anything about the bloodstain. What? You don't need to be told. Just look at it. Well, detective, Could this stain really be blood? No way, sir. It's just ketchup, sir. Oh, okay. Ketchup, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. She must have got some on her apron whilst tagging someone their breakfast that day. Well, you could have spoken up a little sooner, Detective Gumshoe. Well, stuff like that again, I'll have you drink 17 cups of ketchup, witness. Yeah. 17 cups of ketchup? Ew. I thought everyone already knew it was already. I haven't seen anything yet to make me doubt the last ruling I made on this case. The motive, the opportunity, the supporting evidence. They have all been clearly established. Well, Trite, it seems you really are a phony after all. You really know how to drive a man nuts. Witness, please continue your testimony. Describe for the court the crime scene and the findings of your investigation there. The crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by kind of a scary old man, sir. And poor Maggie had passed out from the shock. It must have been tough for her. The victim didn't have any identification on him, but we figured out who he was pretty quick, and then the investigation went smoothly. When Maggie was searched, we found the lottery ticket and the bottle of poison. And that was it. There's nothing else missing from the crime scene. You identified the victim and secured your prime suspect. Very good. Last chance to convince the court you're a real lawyer, Trite. Don't count on any more cross-examinations after this one, so let the fun begin. 2:25. I mean, I assume that's Victor Kudo. When did the victim die? Died around 1:30 and 2:30. I guess it's not very exact. Scary old man, Detective Gumshoe. There's an old man who's a regular at the restaurant where the incident happened. We're obviously talking about the same old man. Officers were dispatched right after the report came in, but the old guy still made a fuss. What took you so long? Then he hurled abuse at them, and seeds. Seeds. It was nothing. I caught each one of my teeth. What, really? Num num num. I guess not even the mighty Godot could avoid being attacked by that guy. The old man was the only other customer in the place at the time. He took his time finding a payphone apparently, so he was late reporting the crime. A payphone. Payphones in 2019? That's crazy. How long was the defendant unconscious for? The officers got to the crime scene around 2:40. Maggie was still out cold in the kitchen at that time. It took another 10 minutes or so before she came to. I would have liked to have been on the scene myself. I bet you would have liked to have carried out the search too. I would have loved to see Maggie sleep like that, pal. All pretty and peaceful. That's what you wanted. You're a professional detective, Gumshoe, not a professional birdwatcher. Save the romantics for your own time, detective. All we need to know now, or all we need to know about, is the investigation. Not your weird fantasies. Oops, I guess I'm pretty red right now, aren't I? You didn't have any. Are you saying that it was stolen then? No, I don't think so. The victim didn't have a driver's license or even a credit card on him, pal. All he had was 58 cents in his wallet. 58 cents? Yeah, I can't believe I found someone with less in their wallet than me, pal. Well, the victim sounds like he was a thoroughly miserable young man. Or some kind of outlaw. Why not give it a bit of an edge? I think I'm onto something here. Wait a sec. Huh? Did I say something dumb again? Well, let me paraphrase what you just testified to the court. The victim didn't have any other form of ID on him. That's basically what you said, yes? Yeah, basically. In that case, how were you able to identify the victim so quickly? Oh, of that. He's so let down, he's got the whole sagging shoulders and puppy eye thing going on. There was a prescription bag on the victim's table along with a lottery ticket. It seems Mr. Glen Elk visited his doctor before he went to Just Beyond. We got the victim's name from the medical records of the doc who prescribed the meds. That's a reliable enough source for the court. What should I do? Should I leave this alone or ask to hear some more? Ask about his health insurance? No, So what sort of medicine was in the bag? Well, actually, the bag we found was empty. Huh? Yeah, completely empty. It was completely empty. Weird. You're entering an empty paper bag as evidence. Desperate, are you, Trite? Now, what happened to the investigation after that, detective? I'm large chicken bottle poison. Well, I shouldn't let me. Can I press this again? I'll press it again. I guess we can't. I guess, sometimes when you press a thing and then you can ask questions, I want to ask the other question, but I accidentally, pick the right one, I guess, and we don't need to hear the other one. Oh well. Found the lottery ticket and a bottle of poison. But the defendant had been passed out for a while, correct? In that case, isn't it possible someone planted evidence in Maggie's pocket? Hey, yeah, you nailed it, pal! It happens to me all the time. We had a department party the other day, and when I got home, I was wearing the boss's shoes. Keep up this crazy testimony, detective, and those shoes went up down your throat. Sorry. So, Trite, someone planted evidence in Maggie's pocket. That's a pretty bold statement. Care to back it up with some evidence? Well, I'd love to if I had any. It appears you have no evidence to support your theory, Mr. Wright. Continue your testimony, witness. Yeah, we don't know. So the $500,000 lottery ticket and the bottle of poison were accounted for. Yeah. Interesting. It's true that those two items are accounted for, but wasn't there another lottery ticket that was stolen that day? Oh yeah, the one the restaurant owner took. He won a whole dollar with it. What a lucky guy, huh? And they were just gonna let him get away with it? Well, it was just $1, detective. I guess no one cares when it's that little. Except for Gumshoe. Well, I don't find a hole in his testimony, the judge's gonna hand out his verdict. Well, Gumshoe isn't giving us anything to work with. If we can't find any contradiction if he doesn't give us something. Yeah, that's true. But Maggie and Gumshoe are like Dumb and Dumber. Our only hope is that they were so dumb they missed something obvious. Come on, Gumshoe. Be the dumbest you've ever been. Okay. I'll press some more, I guess, maybe. Didn't have any form of ID, they found the prescription, so they assume his identity from that. Okay. Do you have any proof that they, planted evidence of Maggie? I don't think so. So what did I miss? What did I miss? They say they didn't miss anything in the crime scene, but what did I miss? Passed out from shock, didn't have any identification, but we found him pretty quickly from the prescription. Then Maggie was searched, they found the lottery ticket and the bottle of poison, and that was it. There was nothing else missing in the crime. Okay, well, what was missing then? Was there something missing? Prescription bag, potassium cyanide. Didn't we give Gumshoe like a bottle of something? But I guess we don't have it as court records. I feel like I could say like, oh, you missed this like green bottle, but I guess it doesn't. If we don't have it, it's on the court record. Well, how about this? There was something we found in the crime scene. It's not too important, but maybe this is relevant? It was written by the victim, right? So I think maybe this is important. Gumshoe was saying, that was it, there was nothing else missing. Well, you missed its newspaper, I think. No? Darn it! I guess not. So I guess the newspaper is not relevant. Then the investigation is on clearly, the event didn't have any identification on him. This is not important. No identification. Didn't miss anything. I mean, there were other lottery tickets, weren't there? I don't know. The winning ticket. Small pocket. You think this would be easy, but... some kind of contradiction, I guess? It's gotta be something they missed, I guess. I was thinking of the 2 to 25 PM, but like the autopsy is pretty vague. It says 1:30 to 2:30, because I'm thinking like, you know, why is the crime being reported if he died maybe around 2:30, but I guess not, maybe not. It could have been like before 2:25, I guess. Can I press this again? Scary old man. I passed out from shock. I mean, that's true. She did pass out from shock, I guess. We have nothing that says otherwise. Owner. Figured who he was pretty quick and smoothly. When Maggie was searched, we found the lottery ticket and the bottle of poison. I'm thinking though, I mean, I don't know if we can say that now, or say it now, but like, the prescription bag and the bottle, I feel like this bottle came from the prescription bag, maybe? Or maybe that's what we need to present. We're saying like, hey, there is something missing. His medicine. Well, Detective Gumshoe, I think I should point out something out to you. There's just one small contradiction in your testimony. Oh, finally! I'm getting all anxious just waiting, so hurry up, will you? Well, you testified that nothing else was missing from the crime scene. However, the prescription bag you mentioned was empty. Did the officers recover the medicine from the scene of the crime later? No, they didn't. The victim was given a prescription right before going to Japan. Where then did the medicine disappear to? You are too cool, pal. Kakui. Indeed. Due consideration wasn't given to the victim's prescription in the previous trial. Witness, why do you always overlook such vital pieces of evidence? I guess that's the most careless thing I've done so far, huh? The victim was killed by poison, and the victim's medicine mysteriously disappeared. The victim's own prescription could have been lethal poison itself. Order, order. Well, Mr. Goodall, what do you have to say to that? That's all. What? Read for the court the name of the clinic on the prescription bag, if you will. And what's the clinic's name got to do with anything? New ear otolaryngological. What? How do you say that? Otolaryngological. Is that a word? I'm gonna search Google right now. How do you even spell it? Oh, this is a big word to spell. O-T-R Larry non-logically?
Otolaryngology.
Otolaryngology. It's, I guess, the study of diseases of the ear and throat. So I guess ear and throat medicine? That's what it is? Otolaryngology. I don't remember how to say it. Just what kind of illness was the victim suffering from, Mr. Godot? Hardly an illness, Your Honor. More like a bitter war wound, you could say. A war wound? The day before the incident, Mr. Elk found someone in the fight. He took a blow to the side of the head and ruptured his eardrum. Okay, that's why he needed I can't even say it. I can't say it. It's the word. He ruptured his eardrum? Then what on earth was the prescription he was given? It was a cream that was to be applied topically inside his ear canal, not to be ingested. What? It's mentioned in an autopsy report if you read the fine print. They found traces of the medication in the victim's left ear. Yes, here it is. The very, very fine print. It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of his medication while he was in Tribune. Therefore, it would be absurd to believe that he would have eaten his medication. It seems that his medication is irrelevant to the case after all. No! Nick, if you don't think of something quick, it'll all be over. She's right. But I can't get away with any old weak objection. What should I do? Push it! Push it real good! Only moments ago, Mr. Godot made the following statement. It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Tribune. If that's the case, then why was the medication not found to scene the crime? But the medication in question was for topical use inside the ear canal. That doesn't change the fact that it could not be found at the crime scene. However insignificant it may seem, it's a lawyer's duty to pursue the truth, not no big words. You know as well as I do that the medication is irrelevant. It only seems likely that the prescription drug would contain potassium cyanide. It hardly seems likely that the coffee the waitress served would contain it either. But it did. The possibility is undeniable. That's enough. Mr. Godot is the detective of the only witness the prosecution wishes to call. Mr. Godot? I've got my own witness I'd like to call, sir. It's the old man who was there in the restaurant on the day of the murder. Victor Kudo, the pigeon hater? Very well. The matter of the disappearing medication seems a little more than trivial at best. However, it wasn't explored at all in the previous trial, and that is something that bothers me. Yay! Yatta! Good job, Nick. The court will adjourn for a 10-minute recess, after which we will hear the prosecution's next witness. I suppose this means I'll just have to finish you off with my last 6 cups. Court is adjourned for recess. Alright. Phew, that was close. Well, tell me about it. I nearly died in there. That's my line, sir. No, it's my line. I think I really did die a little bit. Looks like we all nearly died in there. Can't believe Detective Gumshoe. How could he betray us like that? Huh? He said he'd help me. But he totally set me up. I don't think he meant to do that, Maggie. He was backed into a corner. I mean, the guy's got to do his job, right? It's okay. I know all about lies and betrayal. I've had them my whole life. But it really hurt this time. It felt like someone punched me hard in the stomach. I hate that guy. I don't want to ever see him again. Oh, poor Gumshoe. So the next witness is going to be that old guy from the park, right? Yeah, Mr. Kudo, lover of waitress outfits and projectile seeds. I bet he's going to be really stubborn. I mean, he's pretty set in his ways, you know. Yeah, he's a big old grouch. Are you going to be able to handle him, Nick? Yeah, I can take whatever he throws at me, even those never-ending bird seeds. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Maggie Bird. Mr. Godot, your next witness, please. The prosecution calls the lucky old-timer who caught the show over a cup of coffee. Will the witness please take the stand? Name and occupation if you don't mind. The name's Victor Kudo, born and bred in land of the rising sun. Hail Nippon. Honor and duty are what make me, mind you. I can be quite emotional at times, too. Oh, we don't need to hear about that, Mr. Kudo. Just tell the court your occupation. My occupation? God, listen, young'un. How much do you call there for... How much did you think there is for kimono embroidery here? Kimono embroidery? Kimono embroidery? That's what I do, or did. Back in Japan, I embroidered family crests on kimonos. My ancestors were embroidering kimonos before this country even existed.
Wow, a real craftsman. They're a dying breed. Hey, maybe he could embroider my costume sometime.
Anyway, like I said, there's not much demand for that kind of thing here. So I had to take a job working the cash register at a burger joint, pretending to smile.
That burger joint would have been better off putting him in the kitchen.
Now then, witness, were you in the restaurant at the time of the incident? Oh yes, I was eating some seeds over a cup of cappuccino. Seeds? What do you think these are, I see. So you saw everything that happened, Gramps? Did I? Oh yes. Yes I did. I saw it all. Then please, tell the court. Well, all ears. Sure. I'll tell you in less detail.
He's really getting into this.
The young man was reading the sports paper. The serving girl brought him a cappuccino, but she put something in it. The man took one sip of it, looked like he was in terrible pain, and then collapsed. That's the serving girl, right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well.
Well, that's pretty straightforward.
Mr. Kuno, she's not a serving girl. Please refer to her as a waitress. You're as bad as the rest of them. All these newfangled worlds. What's wrong with the old-fashioned ones, Newfangled? All this talk of radios and glasses and wireless and spectacles, I tell you. Excuse me? Listen to me, everyone. Don't forget the old values. Don't let the good old days slip away. Okay. Well, I think it's time to begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. How old is Victor Kudo? Does it say, actually? Is he older than the judge? I'm not sure. Because I imagine the judge's pretty old himself. He's like 68. That's pretty old. 68. So you saw the victim then? You saw Mr. Glenn Elg?
I want to know if Guts and Braun retain his championship or not.
So he was looking in the sports paper the victim was reading, huh? And at the location in question, there are partitions between tables on the same side of the restaurant, right?
So what if there are?
If you say that you could see the victim, that means you're sitting at a table on the other side of the restaurant, correct?
I go to that place to drink cappuccino. I don't remember which table I was sitting at.
You mean you go there to eye the waitress? Yeah, even the judge would... I don't know, how old is the judge? I have no idea. Mr. Kudo, that is a very grave accusation. Are you sure about what you saw?
Victor Kudo never makes mistakes. I dot every T and cross every I.
I see.
My eyesight's fine. The doctor said I only need spectacles for reading and driving.
I bet his eyes are only really fine when he's scoping out a waitress.
And I saw what the serving girl put in the cappuccino as well.
I bet you know what's coming up, and something tells me I'm not gonna like it. Well, I'm gonna press him. Your Honor, we need more clarification on what was put in the victim's coffee. I'd like to ask the witness add what he knows about this to his testimony.
I agree. Witness, will you enlighten us, please? Sure.
She very conspicuously put some white powder in there. Did she put that into the coffee?
You doubt me, boy. She took out a small brown bottle and sprinkled it in.
Couldn't she have been adding sugar?
Sugar? In a small brown bottle like that?
Like that?
Witness, could you please describe the bottle in more concrete terms? A bottle like this, perhaps? Well, there it is. That's the one. That's the bottle of potassium cyanide, I presume? So what did the accused put into the coffee? I think it's clear, don't you?
He took just one sip.
You youngins, you waste everything. Those cappuccinos cost $8. In the good old days, we would have drank every last drop, eaten the cup, and then died.
Congratulations, you have earned the title of battiest man to grace the courtroom.
You damn bananas. So it was immediate death. Well, with potassium cyanide, I suppose that is possible. Oh yes, he slumped over without so much as a twitch. I felt the cappuccino I just drank turn sour in my stomach. Oh yes, I know that feeling. And the waitress, I presume she is... That's the servant girl right there. I remember her well. You said I remember her well in reference to the waitress. Did she have any particular features that you can identify her by? Particular features? It's a disgrace what that's what it is. Sorry? You can see all the way up to her, you know... She's practically naked in that uniform. Her anime thighs. No, so the particular feature you recognize about the waitress is her outfit. But anyone could wear even just such an outfit, even me! Mr. Wright, please spare the court any further mental anguish from Phoenix like cross-dressing. Don't take it all too excited. Don't get all so excited, Nick. Yeah, keep yourself together. I guess I got a bit carried away. There are other things I reckon about her too. He seems very sure of himself. What should I do? Press. Sure, you saw a waitress take the coffee over to the victim. Victim. But what matters is whether that waitress was Maggie Bird or not. Quite right. Mr. Kudo, these other features that you recognize about the defendant, I would ask you to add them to your testimony. Sure. There was a ribbon in her hair, and her apron straps were loose. Ribbon in her hair? I guess so. Apron straps were loose? You do seem to remember several details about her appearance. But what about the most crucial detail of all, her face? As if I could remember that. Or as if I wouldn't remember that, rather. The witness knows the straps on the accused's aprons. He's unlikely to make a mistake about her face. That's right, I can even tell you the color of the ribbon in her hair. It was red. So you see, there's nothing wrong with the witness's eyesight. There's no doubt he remembers the waitress pretty well. What should I do? I get the feeling there's something more to this somehow. Well, the identifying features you described are all things you receive from the back. So what? Is it possible that you never saw the waitress from the front at all? He's got you there, Gramps. People normally talk about facial features when they're asked to describe someone. But this witness's testimony is nothing but straps and ribbons. This is harassment. I tell you, I'm not just some straps and ribbons. I'm just telling you what I saw. Mr. Kudo, the court requests that you add details about any identifying features you observed from the front, that is, to your testimony. Sure. This old man's testimony is getting longer and longer. If I can't find a hole in it soon, I'll get even longer, I bet. There wasn't anything that caught my interest about her when I saw her from the front. You didn't find anything to be distinct, but you did clearly see the witness's face, yes? No question about it. I didn't come this far to back down now. Victor Kudo never books down. That's not the answer I was looking for, but okay. This has turned to a matter of pride for old CD now, I guess. Whatever really did see Maggie's face or not. Like I thought, we need some concrete proof of this. Proof that the old guy didn't see that waitress clearly from the front. Do you think OCD really see Maggie? He probably had his eye on the waitress the whole time, that's why he was there. Who was there for the cute outfits, right? Not the waitress. I guess. Makes a good point, though. Hey, did I just say something clever? Now, one of the waitresses Mr. Kudo saw really was Maggie. That's what we have to figure out, Nick. There wasn't anything that caught my interest when I saw her from the front. You didn't see the big stains? I think. I mean, I think that would be pretty interesting. Like big coffee stains, big ketchup stains, maybe. I don't know, maybe it's like I don't know, maybe he assumes they're a little dirty. Maybe that's why he didn't say anything about it, but... Well, I don't know. I think it's pretty important to mention that, I think. Mr. Kudo, I would like you to please take a look at this. That thing will suit you, feels like you just perfectly. Actually, it reminds me of what my grandson looks like, just after he's done eating.
Have you ever seen this before?
Of course I haven't. Do you think I forget something as dirty as that? Well, you halfway to claw. What? What is it? Ever since I said you halfway to claw, there's been an eerie silence in here.
Mr. Kudo, this apron is the apron worn by the defendant on the day of the poisoning.
Oh.
And as you just said yourself, you wouldn't forget something like this. Which means if you had really seen this apron before... Yes, you know what I'm getting at. You couldn't have possibly seen the waitress from the front.
Oops. Witness, you can't just oops your way out of this. Well, well. Looks like we finally have a genuine trial on our hands. Listen, Trite. Here are the facts. On the day of the incident, there was only one waitress in the restaurant. That being defendant, Miss Maggie Pride. Bird, rather. I keep saying Bride, I don't know. When I see Bird, when I see her name, I think Bride, but anyway. Exactly. And when that one waitress put the poison into the coffee cup, this old guy was watching. I hope you understand the gravity of the situation, Mr. Kudo. The fate of the defendant may rest on what you say you remember seeing. Just tell the court exactly what you saw, Gramps. You can rely on me, Captain. My nug is in perfect working order. I can't remember a single occasion when I forgot what burger a customer wanted.
He can't remember? Probably more like he messed up so many times he's blocking it out.
Very well, let's test just how good your memory and attention to detail is, Mr. Kudo. Tell us what you remember about the victim.
You know, I wonder, well, I mean, I assume maybe he didn't see the front of the waitress, or didn't see the front of Maggie, because he was, like, sitting in a particular spot, but I wonder why that changes. Anyway.
He was, not one of those pesky young types, wearing a broken pair of spectacles. He had a newspaper in his right hand, and the noisy brat kept rustling his pages. The young man was listening to the wireless. I remember that well. Then the servant girl in question brought over the cappuccino. The little fidget picked up the cup of his free hand and took a sip. The testimony we have just heard was to test how credible the witness's memory is. It seems to me that he remembers the victim in a great deal of detail. Oh yes, I hate those you-know-what types who are so vague about everything.
How are we gonna handle this, Nick? We only need to know to do one thing. We just need to prove that the old man's memory is shot. Just trip him up, you mean? Isn't that kind of cruel? I suppose, but it's what I do best. Pesky young types wearing a broken pair of spectacles. You mean like, again, the Dragon Ball Z Scouter? Spectacles?
Dark glasses to you. One of the lenses was green, but the other one was broken. You faggot rubbish. That's why I remember him so well.
He didn't have some kind of lens over his left eye, but I wouldn't have called it a pair of glasses.
He seems to have been wearing some rather modern-looking shades. Perhaps I should take to wearing some and rival Mr. Godot's sharp appearance.
We better come up with something sharp and quick. I guess I'll have to wait and see if I should challenge him about the spectacles. Newspaper in his right hand. The newspaper was a sports paper, was it?
That young hooligan, I merely asked him, can't you even read without fidgeting? How was I supposed to be able to read the back page of all the wrestling going on? And you find out Gustin Braun retained his championship title.
It was his paper, not yours. If you wanted to know so bad, why didn't you buy your own?
What are you looking at me like that for, How dare you judge me?
Ow! Ow! Guts and Braun got beaten yesterday, by the way. Anyway. Yeah, we did learn that. Look at the picture again. Well, where's the paper? I mean, I can see maybe this is the newspaper, or is that just a lottery ticket? I don't know. Yeah, he was holding it in his right hand, technically. The wireless.
The decadent young rascal. In my day, it was one or the other. Read the paper or listen to the wireless.
Oh boy.
I'm using an earpiece. It's selfish, that's what it is. I will strain my ears, but I can catch any of it.
Was he that desperate to listen to the radio?
What are you looking at me like that for? How dare you feel sorry for me? Ow.
You mean the waitress who you only saw from behind, right?
You're one of those, aren't you? You've never let anything go, isn't that right?
Maybe.
What does it matter if I saw him from behind, front or behind? My eyes don't lie.
Just more... I better not push until I've got some hard evidence. His free hand.
Yes.
Which hand was that?
Weren't you listening before? Cloth ears! I said he was wrestling with his right hand, didn't I? If his free hand wasn't his right hand, then which hand was it, you moron? Ow! Perhaps the great Mr. Trite has 3 hands.
Yeesh, I was only asking. No need to gang up on me and treat me like a freak. Well, the whole point of this cross-examination is to establish just one thing. That this guy's old memory has, this old guy's memory has more holes than a slice of Swiss. I guess we should just find that contradiction in his testimony somewhere, huh? Anything will do, even the smallest detail. We just need one mistake and he's ours. Yeah, press this again. Okay, gotta find something small, I guess. Something that contradicts the evidence, but I'm not sure what. Last chance. Last thing I can only think of is, again, the earpiece again. Maybe instead of presenting his profile, we can present the floor plans? To prove again that he couldn't have seen the earpiece because the victim's left ear was ruptured, he would be hearing out the right, and he wouldn't be able to see that. Maybe? Nope, that's wrong too. I can tell. It's highlighted. Oh well. I'm having so much trouble in this third game. Well. Time to go to jail again. That didn't work out. I mean... Oh, he did refer to the cup about his free hand. And obviously he is reading newspapers with his right hand, so apparently he picked it up, the coffee cup, with his left hand. Or whatever. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, god damn it. Because I was thinking, like, you could just, you know... Because I'm thinking, like, this isn't like a fixed picture or anything. You could just turn it around, right? And pick it up with his left hand. But actually, there was like, a sip mark right there, isn't there? So he could only have picked it up with his right hand. Oh, I can't believe I missed that small detail. It's clever though. It's a visual, I guess it's a visual clue more so than a, because I keep looking at the words, right? I don't really look at the picture, I look at the words. Looking for some like contradiction there, but it really is like a visual clue, not a word clue. I mean, assuming I'm correct about this, but I think I am. So that's the contradiction. He didn't pick up the coffee cup with his left hand, he picked it up with his right hand. Can't believe I missed that. I'm not too angry about that though, because it is pretty clever. So Mr. Kudo, do you remember what you were told at the start of this testimony? That this was a way of testing the credibility of your memory.
I know, there's nothing wrong with my memory, I tell you nothing. If I got anything wrong, I'll eat these seeds and sing the pigeon song.
Well, get ready to sing.
Care to tell us where this is going, Trite?
According to Mr. Kudo, the victim was holding the paper in his right hand, while drinking coffee with his free hand, which would make that his left.
Huh. What is this, kindergarten?
But I would like the court to please take a look at this.
That's the cup the victim used, correct?
Yes, and on the rim, you'll notice the mark left by the victim's lips.
Yes, there is a stain left by the coffee.
If you consider where that stain is, you'll clearly see that the victim was holding the cup in his right hand.
But how?
Well, Mr. Kudo, the court is waiting for your epic performance. You said you eat those seeds and sing the pigeon song.
Bah. Mr. Kudo, I'm afraid this is simply not acceptable. I think the witness had better go back to the park where he came from. Wait! Totomate. If you think I'm gonna stand here and listen to you tell me I'm mad, you're wrong. I don't care about the dirty coffee cup, I know what I saw. You still insist on your testimony. That young brat was holding the cup in his left hand. Oh yes, no question. I'm a good law-abiding citizen, I am. Is that dead young hotbot? You spiky-haired yahoo, who are for? Who, me? Oh, thank you, old man. We've heard quite enough from you already. I don't know. I want to hear him singing. Why not? You gotta sing. You promised. Anyway. Oh, don't tell me old man. Old man. Oh, don't call me old man, old man. I've been around for 68 years, I have. You can't ignore me. Listen to what I've got to say. I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but... Sure. Why not hear a little bit more? Mr. Kudo. But this is my 16th cup of coffee, so this is your final stand. Thank you, Captain. You can rely on Victor. Nom 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 nom. Left hand or right hand? The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same size as the green lens of his specs. Yeah, no. He kept fiddling with it all the time. He was fiddling with it just before he picked the cup, too. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup with his left hand. Now I'm wondering, I mean, that's an obvious lie. I already figured that out. He can't be, wearing his earpiece on his left because he had a, ruptured eardrum. But why is he saying everything's on the left when it's on the right? That's interesting. Why is it reversed? Well, we know the victim was wearing an unusual monocle over his left eye. It wasn't a monocle, Your Honor. It was a small computer monitor often used by programmers. Is it? Is it often used? A monitor? You mean like a television screen? The inside of the lens is a screen that displays computer data. It's called an HMD. It's a common tool in the victim's line of work. HTTV, DVD, CD, all these newfangled letters drive me mad, but they don't matter. Yeah, it's interesting that this is like an alternate universe. So like we have payphones, and like normal, or well, I say normal, but like old, old type phones. There aren't like smartphones, and yet we have like weird computer things, computer glasses, I guess, HMDs. We don't have that, do we? Well, maybe sort of. We sort of have that, like Google Glasses, right? That sort of was like that, but it failed though because like it wasn't really good technology. Anyway, I know what I saw, I'm telling the truth. It's true, he doesn't seem to be lying. Those are the facts, in good old black and white. Well, I already know there's a contradiction, but let's squeeze out some more information out of him. For fun! So the victim was wearing an HMD. HTTV, CD, DVD, wasn't matter. Well, it was none of them actually, but anyway. And you're sure that he was wearing the earpiece on the same side? Earpiece. No question, I can only see the side of his head from where I was sitting. Yeah, that's pretty obvious if you look at the floor plans. From the opposite table, he'd only have a view of the side of the victim's head. He kept filling it in all the time. It seems you kept an eye on Mr. Glenn Elg. Yeah, Glenn Elg, just to confirm, like Glen, Glen. Yeah, definitely. Like race car. Anyway. He was getting my nerves. Rustling on that newspaper and filling it with his earpiece all the time. Then he went and made all the fuss dying from one simple cappuccino. I wanted to say to him, calm down, you young brat. Just die quietly, I guess. Just look at him made me suddenly speed up my seed eating. I could have choked. So I take the victim was a walking ball of nervous energy. The earpiece you mentioned, which hand did the victim touch it with? You're one of those people, aren't you? You're the type that uses your left hand to get things out of your right pocket. Or fastens your left cup with your right hand. I mean, how could you do it otherwise? And when the tour guide says on your right side, you'll see the famous blah blah blah. You're the one who never looks left, well, aren't you? No, I didn't mean... Obviously he used the hand on the same side of his body the earpiece was in. Ow. So if he had the HMD on his left side, then it was his left hand, I guess. Well, Phoenix,
Let's see. Then he uses the same hand to pick up the cup. You seem very sure of yourself, Mr. Kudo.
That's because I know what I saw, no matter what tricks you try to play on me.
It looks like you really did see the guy picking up the cup with his left hand. This is a dead end. Well, Nick, what do you think? I think the guy's telling the truth, but even so, something's not quite right. Then chuck evidence at him until he breaks. But if he's not lying, there wouldn't be any contradiction in his testimony, right? Well, there is. The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side of the sign in some respects. Well, if he's wearing on his, well, it's mirrored, right? So he's on the left. It's impossible because his left eardrum was ruptured.
Take this!
I'm not sure what the relevance of this is, but... Mr. Kudo, there is something very strange about your observations of the victim.
What?
You say he was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the HMD.
No question. You can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt. I can only see that side of his head from where I was sitting.
Well, time to lock him up. I don't think so.
What did you say?
You're no doubt unaware of this fact, Mr. Kudo, but the victim couldn't hear with his left ear. His eardrum was ruptured.
Eh? Nani?
Traces of medication for his condition were found in his ear canal. That's right. It's impossible that the victim was wearing his earpiece in his left ear, because he couldn't even hear in that ear.
Nani? Captain. Is that true, Captain?
It is.
Pigeon! Pretty pigeon!
Oh, he's singing.
Pigeon! Order.
This witness's testimony is completely unreliable. He only saw the waitress from behind. And he claims the victim was wearing an earpiece when he knew his eardrum was ruptured. Well, Mr. Godot?
A single drop of milk is all it takes to destroy the pure black magic in the cup.
I guess he doesn't like milk in his coffee.
The old man is my drop of milk. Captain, are you calling me a trip?
What is captain in Japanese? I think it's Kaicho? Like Kaicho? Or maybe I'm wrong actually. Maybe I'm mixing it up. I don't know.
This is the victim's coffee cup in which the potassium cyanide was found.
The mark on the rim clearly shows that the victim picked it up with his right hand.
I'll never back down. I know I'm right. The lad drank his cappuccino with his left hand.
Well, let me put you out of your misery. Clearly, the victim used both hands. He took a sip of the cup in his right hand, and then switched to his left.
That's what the old man saw.
Impossible. The witness has already testified on numerous occasions that the victim died immediately after taking just one sip of the coffee.
Which hand the victim used to pick up his cup is irrelevant, Your Honor. The facts still stand. With one hand or the other, Mr. L drank the poisoned coffee. Like this.
Sadly, Mr. Godot, that doesn't wash. The point of this testimony was to establish whether the witness's memory is credible. And the results are clear. The testimony given by this witness is useless.
Ah!
I believe it is time to conclude today's proceedings. I am satisfied that the witness is not deceiving the court, but to be frank, his testimony is a farce.
Did you have to be so frank? Take that, you pompous old flunky!
I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, you can't reach me from there. I'm ordering the defense and the prosecution to investigate the case further. That is all for now. This court is adjourned. Oh. It's not over yet?
Wait. If we stop now, where's that leave me?
Leave you, Mr. Kudo?
Thanks to that blue-suited young upstart over there. I'm just a bumbling old man who can't even dot his or T's or cross his eyes now.
That was your bad memory, my fault.
I'm sorry, Mr. Godot, but there's nothing I can do. I've kept my mouth shut until now, but there's something else the court should know.
What? There's more? Nani?
To be perfectly honest, it might not be anything, but I want another chance. I want another crack at you, you young shark.
Me?
He's looking at me like I'm sort of evil shogun, Oda Nobunaga, a 4-star archer. Washija! Anyway, well everyone, what do you say to one final showdown? The final chapter in his eccentric old man's scrapbook. I'm sorry, Gramps. I've already had my 17th cup of coffee. What have you got to lose, Captain? I'll give you all the Javachuni if you want if you come to my house after the trial. I may be 68 years old, but Victor Kudo's still a man. That's enough, witness. I believe it will be quicker for the court to just hear your testimony. You bet! Much, much quicker!
I can't believe this is happening.
You better get ready, youngster!
I get the picture. Just quit throwing those seeds at me, would you? He's gotta be using some sort of infinite ammo code for that box of seeds. Infinite ammo. Points at bandana.
First of all, I want to stress that this might not be nothing, but I'm not too sure myself. The young man slumped over the table as soon as he took one sip of his Javachino. Well, the clumsy idiot upset the vase. He knocked it right over. It broke, and the strip of cloth covering the table got completely soaked. Well, how about that? Turn things upside down,
So he knocked over a vase? Did he? Look at the picture again. Oh, not this one. The other one. Where is it? This one? Yeah, I see the vase right there. Huh. Okay.
Is that all? Yes, that's all. I remember it perfectly. Man, you're telling me again? You're telling me a poor defenseless old man? A poor defenseless old G-san? No, we are not W, Mr. Kudo.
Don't you get the feeling there's a question hanging on everyone's lips, Nick? Yeah, so what? Probably. That's all I can think of, and I have to cross-examine this guy.
Yeah, Bram, that's all you can think of.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Your final cross-examination, please. Alright, I mean, I know what's wrong already, but again... Let's squeeze us for some more information. It's kind of funny, you know, the whole coffee cup thing is the one thing that got me really stuck, but everything else, you know, is kind of super easy, at least for him anyway. So, the court generally prefers if witnesses are sure of themselves, Mr. Kudo.
Noisy brat. I'm warning you, I'm more savage than the Macho Man right now. You won't beat me with this testimony. This is the final battle.
Wah. He's chucking those seeds harder than ever. I better be careful. Come on, Nick, nail him! Let's look at the one serious Cappuccino. The court has already heard that testimony, Mr. Kudo.
I know that, I was just setting the mood. How else am I supposed to build up the suspense,
The suspense.
Yes, now, what do you think? Should I work the audience a bit more?
No, please continue, Mr. Kudo, as quickly as possible.
Alright, now where was I? Ah, yes, the young boy slumped over the table and...
knocked a vase? A vase, you say?
Yes, there are vases on all the tables in that place. There are accidents waiting to happen. They're practically begging to be knocked over.
Well, he's right about there being vases. I do remember seeing them too. There was a vase on the table when I ate lunch there. And you saw the moment when the victim actually knocked over the vase.
Well, it's hard to say. It's a bit unclear. How do you really define...
Okay, I get it.
I heard it break, and the sight of it burned in my memory as clear as day.
It broke, and a strip of cloth covering the table got completely soaked. Soaked in water, you mean?
Yes, it splashed me on the knee as well.
You said you were sitting on a table across the room from the victim, correct? And yet, the water still managed to splash onto you?
It was cold. Hey, I clearly remember it splashing me.
Could the water really make it all the way across the other side of the room? Yeah, it sounds implausible. I don't know. You mean the vase on the victim's table falling upside down and breaking?
The vase turned upside down, and my testimony is turning this case upside down.
It's a joke, I just want everyone to hear it.
What do you think, Captain?
I'm impressed by your ability to waste time. Godot hasn't raised any objections for a while.
So, you young show-off, with that scrap of information, I'm throwing down the gauntlet. If I lose this one, I'll take it like a man in the midst of heat.
He's really giving you the evil eye, Maya. It's you he's looking at, Nick, not me. It's like he's saying, "Oh, triple dog dare you to find a contradiction, you youngin'." I guess I'll just have to rise to the challenge then. Alright. Well, here you go. You look at this photo, I don't see a vase being knocked over, do you? Mr. Kudo, this is a photograph of the crime scene.
So what?
Look carefully at the table. The vase is there, intact.
Huh?
Lost your tongue, Grandad?
I'm no granddad of yours, hopscotch. Enough. If you throw any more seeds in this courtroom, the cleaners will be here all night. Well, what is it now? I just remembered something.
Yes? Go on.
The broken vase. It was on my table.
What? No, it was on his table, I guess.
Well, you see... It startled me when that young lad collapsed, so I stood up. That must have been when it fell over. The vase on my table, I mean. The vase on your table? Yes, it was on my table. That's how my groan came to be completely soaked.
Dot dot dot.
Thank you, Mr. Kudo. You certainly earned your kudos for today. Okay, kudos. I'd like to ask a question now. Have I been any use at all? Perhaps that's something you should reflect on yourself, Mr. Kudo. Wait a minute. If that's the case, then there's more. I've got more to say. Oh yes, I remember something else. Bailiff, escort the witness out of the courtroom. But wait, listen to me.
Oh. Goodbye, Mr. Kudo.
Well, we seem to be considerably sidetracked, and I am still not in a position to deliver a verdict. The defendant has not been positively identified as the waitress in question. Additionally, there are two disparities in testimony we have heard thus far.
Well, the mark on the coffee cup the victim supposedly drank from his left hand, and the earpiece which was inserted into his left ear, of which he couldn't hear. Wow, Nick, you did it!
I therefore require both the defense and the prosecution to further investigate the facts.
Yes, Your Honor.
There is one more thing before we call today's session to an end.
One more thing, Your Honor.
The witness we just heard from. He is most insistent that his testimony should be of use, so he summarized it quarterly into this statement.
I'm okay.
You may each have a copy of it if you wish. Whatever. The prosecution doesn't need props like that.
God, that's really mad, huh? Yeah, I would be too.
Very well. Here you are then, Mr. Wright. There are 3 copies. My own, yours, and Mr. Godot's.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay. When the incident occurred, I broke the vase at my seat. Sorry. Okay. That's his testimony. That's all it really amounted to. He broke a vase at his seat. I'm sorry. This isn't a piece of testimony, more like a 5-year-old's apology. Omenasai. What the heck are we supposed to do with 3 copies? Well,
that's all. This court is now adjourned.
Alright. Somehow got through that. Got stuck at the coffee cup thing, but... I mean, I'm less mad about that, because it did make sense. Make perfect sense, actually. Unless unless the victim drank in a really weird way, holding in his right hand and drank it over I don't know, I don't think that would work.